I'm just going to record this. I've spent the last, I don't know how much, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, figuring something out because it wasn't recording to Facebook. It wasn't showing on Facebook. It was recording, but it wasn't. And it was streaming, but it wasn't going to, the picture wasn't coming through. So let's do something here. Before I even go any further, let's make sure it is visible on Facebook. There you go. All right. And it's visible on LinkedIn and on YouTube and Twitter and over on Instagram. So it's Saturday evening and I was trying to get started before the crickets came out. You're hearing them. If you're hearing anything in the background that sounds like interference, it's crickets. It's crickets and tree frogs because I'm in the Caribbean. I'm back on the island. If you had listened to me on Wednesday or if you followed me last weekend, you'd have known that I was traveling. I came back early in the week and so I am doing the live today. Because, as I'd said before, on Friday night, I'd be opening the new programming on shirleyosborne.com. And so it's all open. What's open on there is the three goods, and find your warrior self. And I wanted to just really, really quickly talk to you about them. First of all, let me just let you know that the only thing that is required for you to access these is membership in the Women's Leadership Circle. That's it. Nothing else. Membership in the Women's Leadership Circle is $50 a year, and everything to do with finding the three goods and enjoying and building a life of fulfillment and empowerment and beauty and accomplishment through the three goods is on there. There's also the programming for being your warrior self. If you know anything at all about me, you know that part of my work, the big part of my work to do with women is about women owning, claiming, owning, and using our power, our personal power, our professional power, our situational power. Just acknowledging that we are worthy of power, we have it, we can use it, and that we should. And also that is really, really important that we be warriors for other women, because wherever you go in the world, wherever we are in the world, women are having a hard time in all kinds of ways. And the only way to get through this is to be warriors for each other. Now, when we do the three goods, look good, feel good, and do good, there's this particular piece, the do good piece, which is about us, yes, but it's much more about other people. It's about the good that we do in the world. The good that we do in the world is the good that we do for other people. And it is really, really important to me, part of my life. And I think it's important for other people because the good that we do for other people, apart from the fact that it comes back around to us, it also is what elevates us, what fulfills us, what satisfies us, what moves us forward, what moves us upward. And let me give you an example of what I mean. Think about if you are the only successful people in your group of friends, in your group of people you hang out with. If you are the only happy one in there, how does that work? How fulfilling, how enjoyable could that be? So when I talk about being a warrior for other women, other people, that's what I'm talking about. Pulling people along, lifting people up as you go. And it's really, really important that women do this. Women begin to do this more and more, because that is how we get women in positions of authority, in positions of power, in positions of influence. That can make the difference. And we know, being women, we know that when women make the difference, they don't make the difference just for ourselves. We don't do it just for ourselves. When women are in positions of authority, whether it's private enterprise, whether she has started a business, whether she works for somebody else, whether she is in public service, when women are in positions of authority and influence, the decisions that they make almost always, and all kinds of studies done by United States government, European Union, the African Union, the United Nations, all kinds of organizations, their studies, universities have done these studies too. Their studies show that when women are in these positions, when they have to make decisions, they consider everybody, and their decisions affect and influence and are meant to support everybody. Think about political women. Every study done about political groups makes clear, whether it's in South America, South Asia, South Africa, wherever, every single study that I have seen says that when women are in political office, when they're in positions of political power, the policies, the laws that they write make massive difference all across the board for everybody. When men are in positions of authority, women is not quite so much, which is one of the reasons why we keep having these conversations about women's empowerment, women's advancement, women's access to resources and to support, women's access to positions of leadership. The reason why we have these problems is precisely because women have historically, traditionally, systematically been kept out of these positions. We know now, however, that women can do all of these jobs. Women can lead in all of these areas, everything from aviation to science to business to politics to sports. Women can lead. Women have the capacity. Women have the ability. And women are worthy. Women also have the right to participate in these at the very highest levels. And so let me just fix something here. Let me just go right back here. Just give me 1 second. I should have done this earlier. Let me do this. Women have the capacity to lead, have the ability to lead, and also have a right to be in these positions, because all of these things that happen, all these decisions that are taken at whatever level, politically, for example, affect women. And so when women are kept out of the decision-making rooms, the best decisions are not made. Think about, I can't tell you how many times I've seen photographs of men in rooms discussing everything from contraceptive care for women to war and peacemaking to sports decisions, research, scientific research, and women are not in the room. I remember seeing a couple of years ago, somebody sent me an invitation for a seminar, a lecture, I suppose, that was happening in California, in Silicon Valley. And the topic was about the dearth of women, the scarcity of women in STEM, in technology. And there were 5 men on the panel and no women. They were talking about why women are out. And one would assume that they'd also be discussing how to get women in, but they didn't think it necessary to discuss that with women. And that happens so much, which is why in all of my work, I encourage women to support other women, to be warriors for other women. And I do realize it requires some courage. It requires some courage. And that's what being a warrior is about. Having the courage, using the courage, stepping out, standing up for the things you believe in, and also for the women around you. The more women do better, the more women do better, and the more everybody else does well. Men, women, and children. Countries, corporations, and casinos. I don't know. Everything does better when women are involved. This is research that people have been done by reputable organizations, institutions, and they found that across the board. So one of the things I do at Women's Leadership Circle, one of the cornerstones of my work is this: supporting women in finding, owning, claiming, and enjoying their power, using it for good, including using it to support other women in finding and using theirs. Because like I said earlier, there's no fun in being the only successful woman in your group of women friends. There's no pleasure in being the only happy one. There's no pleasure in being the only fulfilled, professionally fulfilled one, or any other. And in any case, women we are communicative. We're a communicative species. We are a species that works a lot on consensus and concern, care and concern for other people. And so I am inviting you to use this. Let us use this capacity of ours, this power, because that's what it is. It is a power. Compassion care and concern, the ability to care about someone, to care about others, the ability to stand for others, to use what you have to support others is a power. It's a very valuable and very important, it's a critical power that we get to use. I invite you to use it. There was a movie some years ago. I mean, I'm talking maybe 15 years ago, maybe even more, called Pay It Forward. Pay It Forward. And it was about oh my goodness, I can't remember. I think it was about somebody having, oh my gosh, I remember the movie, I can't remember what it said, and that has to do with me not being a movie buff. I watch movies and I forget what they're about. But what I do remember is that I once got a cab out of Newark Airport. I was going into New York, and I landed in Newark Airport, got a cab, and at that time, this was, I'm talking, yeah, this is more than 15 years ago, because it was, you couldn't use cards in cabs at the time. You had to have cash. And I didn't have any money to give him a tip. I had just enough cash to give him, and I was in college, just enough cash to give him. So yeah, it was quite a while ago. I was doing my master's, so this was in the 1990s then, 95, 6, 95, I don't know. So anyway, I didn't have enough money to give him a tip. I had enough money for the fare. And I said, I'm so sorry, I don't have a tip. He said, no, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Pay it forward. Give it to somebody else. He obviously had seen the movie. He said, pay it forward. It's a Haitian man, actually. And what that reminded me of is, one, the importance of doing that, of passing on what we learn, what we earn, what we have, and also how important it is. These things are art, and the things that we put out in the world. Somebody made this movie, and this movie influenced other people. A taxi driver to tell me, it's okay, you don't have to give me a tip, give it to somebody else, pay it forward. Yeah. And of course, there is a proverb, and I don't know if it's Chinese, it's African, it's American, I don't know, but it says, and I think I last heard it from some Chinese students of mine, when life brings you good stuff, you have an obligation to share it, to pass it on, to include somebody else in your good. And I hear the stories over and over and over again of how women are our worst enemies. All that is bollocks, it's nonsense. Women are not our worst enemies. The problem is that we have been socialized, just like men, to think that men are the ones who are supposed to be leaders and so on. And how we get through this, how we get past this, is by, in fact, deliberately, intentionally supporting other people, standing up for other women, being, in my words, warriors for other women. That's what I invite you to do. So what I want you to do is go over to to ShirleyOsborne.com and check out what's on there. When you go, you'll see that it says, everything in my life revolves around the three goods. The three goods are the look good, feel good, and do good. And when you do those, when you have those three in your life consistently, when you're intentional about having them in your life consistently, what happens is that good shows up in your life, the ultimate good. So when life's dark moments come, as they always will, they will for everybody at some point, there'll be good in your life. That good will come back to you in all kinds of ways. Yes? You won't be alone. You won't be unsupported. The good comes back to you. So if for no other reason, of course, you don't do stuff to get something back. But the fact of the matter is that life is an exchange. Life is about sharing. I give, you receive. I receive because you gave. Life is a circle. And that's also one of the reasons why I call my program the Women's Leadership Circle, because it's a circle. You hear this over and over, what goes around comes around, all those things. I believe that. I've seen it in action. I know you have too. And so when we look good, we take the time. Looking good means you take the time to take care of yourself. It doesn't mean being skinny or being fat, it means you take the time to take care of yourself, find yourself, and present yourself to the world in your best light. That helps you feel good. When you feel good, it helps you work to look good. When you feel good, you do good. You are better to yourself. You treat yourself better and you treat other people better. You do more good in the world when you feel good. If for no other reason than that you have the energy. You have the energy, the heat, the passion. Yes? So, next week, I'll do another video with some more details. But in the meantime, go check out the Women's Leadership Circle over at shirleyosborne.com. Check out the Women's Leadership Circle. Join me and the other women in finding, exploring, expressing the warrior in you, which is the part of you that owns her power, and has no fear, no reluctance, no resistance to using it in the world for good, for her own good and the good of others. All of the work that we do over the Women's Leadership Circle is included in your annual membership. Your annual membership is $50 for the year, less than $5 a month. We have the monthly circles. We have, I think I lost something here. Okay, we have the monthly circles. We have the three goods. We have the war room. We have lead from inside. We send out emails, make podcasts, videos, lives, and from time to time we do one-on-one chats with people who request them. I'll be honored to work with you. So go check out Women's Leadership Circle at shirleyosborne.com and become a member. And let's go do some really, really cool stuff. Let us together be warriors for the women in the world. Until I see you over in the Women's Leadership Circle, take good care.